Hi, I'm Joe Finsternis, and this is being filmed on the same night as my best of video. And, now that I've talked to you about the worst. Let's do that again. Now that I've talked to you about the best films that I've reviewed for October 2014, now I'm going to tell you about the worst. Now, for the record, I never actually threw away any of the movies that I reviewed this month. I mean, I still have live feed right here. I'm going to take it to Half Price Books soon. But I'm not going to showcase all of the DVDs in this video simply because some of them have already been taken down there and sold. So I'm just going to be sitting here talking to you about them. And this was a much easier video to make, or at least to prepare for, than the last one, simply due to the fact that I haven't really seen that many bad movies this month, and it's not even going to be a top 10, it's going to be a top 9. Now, I could include, Return of Swamp Thing or Alien vs. Ninja, but I mean, I'm not going to sacrifice my integrity as a reviewer just for the sake of rounding the list out to an even 10. So, without further ado, number 9 on my list is Trilogy of Terror. Now, I did say that the third segment made the movie worth keeping, but due to the fact that the first two segments were so forgettable and poorly made and just boring and stupid, the second one wasn't really stupid, it was just kind of boring and forgettable. However, due to the fact that it started off so poorly, it doesn't exactly receive a passing grade. Number 8 on my list is Stage Fright, the horror comedy slasher musical. I honestly thought that all of those things could work together, and I was dead wrong. Pun not necessarily intended, meh. Now, for one thing, it took way too freaking long to get to the kills, which I normally wouldn't complain about, but then after one spectacularly awesome kill scene, all of the murder scenes afterward were just really sloppy and rushed and forgettable. And then it got to that stupid twist where it tried to take a more dramatic turn, and even as they tried cramming in a few more jokes near the end, it just really fell apart for me. Number 8, or number 7, is The Neighbor Number 13. A movie that was going good for the most part. I really wanted this to end up being a movie that I liked. It very well could have been one of the best of the month, but, one of the things that bogged it down was the very over-the-top adult bully who was getting away with way too much in public than you would in real life. But then none of that mattered by the end, where it revealed yet another stupid twist that just brought the movie down for me and made it pretty forgettable as a whole. In fact, forgettable is probably going to be the main word of the day. Number 6 is Recycle, a Pang Brothers movie in which the filmmakers tried to be more artsy and expressionistic, but the film just ended up being so caught up in its visual style that there was really not much substance to it. I did say that the ending brought me to tears, but frankly, if you're not just the least bit saddened by the final act, then I doubt that you're a human being. That still doesn't make this a very good movie. It was just very repetitive and boring at times and just meh. Number 5 would be Vampire Killers, or Lesbian Vampire Killers. Not the most promising title, to say the least. There were a few moments in the movie that made me laugh. Sure, there were some clever jokes sprinkled in there, but that also came with many more jokes that were just cringeworthy and stupid. Sorry for that expression. I thought I saw the door opening. I need some sleep. Anyway, shit. But yeah, too many characters in the movie, especially some of the females, just got on my nerves so much. There really needed to be more meat to some of these people. Even the vampires were just totally forgettable and uncharismatic. Number 4 is Dead Birds, a movie which had some really awesome, terrifying visuals going for it. But, you know, as I made clear in my best of list, you don't need to throw some scary visuals at the audience to get a reaction out of them. This movie had just such boring characters and such a lethargic storyline that it just made it pretty forgettable as a whole. One thing that I don't believe I touched on in my review was that this movie featured a few archetypes of horror movies. The group here included the token female character, the token fat guy, and even a token black guy. And yes, while it was taking place during the Civil War, there was some racial tension due to the latter character, but it never really went anywhere. There were probably like 2 or 3 skinny white guys in the group. I don't really fucking know because nobody stood out as a person. So, yeah. Number 3 is The I-3, the second Pang Brothers movie on this list. This was not how this month should have gone down. I mean, shit. They did such a fantastic job with the first 2 I movies, and now they're giving me this bullshit. I've come to the conclusion that the third I was supposed to be a comedy, but that still doesn't make it very good. It was just very awkward and poorly executed, and frankly, it's not even an I movie. Number 2 is Almost Human, the very uninspired and uncreative and confusing alien movie that I've seen in recent memory. The characters were extremely boring, and the movie was just painfully stupid. Finally, number 1. You probably saw this one coming a mile away. For one thing, if you saw my review for it. For another thing, I just mentioned it at the beginning of this video. Number 1 on my list is Live Feed. I mean, what is there to say about this movie? It's just a very uncreative and badly edited, badly acted, and annoying torture porn film. I did state that there were some really cool murder scenes in the movie, and I'll admit that it does take more talent to create an effective kill scene than it does just to watch somebody get hurt, but that still didn't make it a very good movie as a whole. I mean, if I gave so few shits about this movie that I ended up putting it on mute just to make the remainder of the film bearable, you know it pretty much deserved a number 1 spot on this list. So, if you've seen any of the films that I've reviewed for this month, let me know down in the comments which ones were your least favorites. Or if you didn't really have any films that I talked about for the month of October this year that you disliked, tell me what was the last really bad horror movie you watched. Anyway, that's all I've got to say tonight. I hope y'all have a good one.